Hello everyone, I hope you've had a good week. Today I'm going to be telling you what 5 books I think every writer should read and why.
How do you write like you're running out of time? Night day and night like you're running out of time. Every day you fight like you're running out of time. Like you're running out of time. Are you running out of time? How do you write like tomorrow won't arrive? How do you write like you need it to survive? How do you write every second you're alive? Every second you're alive.
So just to clarify, this isn't a Jack's top 5 books list. I did something very similar on my website in January of last year, I think, and the link for that will be in the description. So this is a list of books that I've 1. Enjoyed, and 2. I think other writers would benefit from reading. As a writer, you should read every new book 2 different ways. You should read it first as a reader and experience the plot twists and drama for the very first time. And 2, you should experience the book as a writer and reread it and look for the foreshadowing, the misdirection, and the sleight of hand the author has used. And maybe incorporate those ideas into your own writing. Remember what T.S. Eliot once said: good writers borrow, great writers steal. In fact, it wasn't T.S. Eliot who said that, it was another writer, which only proves the quote, ironically. Star Wars Episode 3, Revenge of the Sith, a novelisation by Matthew Stover. Okay, bear with me. I know that adaptations of films into books are often seen as cash grabs and of poor quality, and some people view the Star Wars franchise as childish and geeky. Now, I'll disagree with you on the Star Wars point. Just look at ticket sales of The Last Jedi or The Force Awakens, and I will happily admit that some adaptations or novelisations are poor quality, but this book isn't among them. Stover's novel is beautifully written. Just listen to this extract about Darth Vader, and you rage and scream and reach for the Force to crush the shadow who has destroyed you, but you are so far less now than what you were. You are more than half machine. You are like a painter gone blind, a composer gone deaf. You can remember where the power was, but the power we can touch is only a memory. And so, with all your world-destroying fury, it is only the droids around you that implode, and equipment, and the table on which you are strapped shatters, and in the end, you cannot touch the shadow. In the end, you do not even want to. This novel is a near-perfect manual to read when adapting from screen to page. You can see how much of the plot to trim, what aspects to expand, while still doing the film justice. I actually prefer this novel to the film, although admittedly I know that isn't actually saying much. The House of Silk by Anthony Horowitz. You can tell it's a good book when it comes with its own bookmark. Both The House of Silk and Moriarty are official Sherlock Holmes novels, as in they fit into the canon established by Sir Arthur Conan Doyle in the original books. The House of Silk tells the story of a case Sherlock solved that was too shocking for the Victorian public to read about. Moriarty takes place after the events of the Reichenbach Falls and follows the rise of a new Victorian king of crime after both Moriarty and Sherlock's apparent death. The reason I love this book is because of the foreshadowing. I won't ruin the plot of this novel, but when the twist hits you and you stop and think about all the clues you've previously encountered, your mind will be blown. This is one of the best things about reading: unexpected plot twists. The Great Gatsby by F. Scott Fitzgerald. Although Gatsby is a slim book, and you have to take my word for it because I can't find my copy, it is a beautiful book. Very briefly, what I love about Gatsby is what I actually hate in most other books: the ambiguousness. You can choose what to believe about Gatsby. There isn't a definitive answer if he is a good or a bad guy. As a writer, this is a brilliant tool to use. It keeps your readers guessing and talking about long after the book's publication. This also links into the argument about who the book belongs to when it's been published. When a novel is published, the author is powerless to do anything to change the novel, apart from maybe publish another version. If the reader reads the novel and has an idea that the author didn't intend to convey, or takes an idea which is the very polar opposite of what the author intended, it doesn't matter. At least they're reading and generating their own ideas. Isn't that the point of literature? To stop and make us think? Doctor Who, The Writer's Tale, The Final Chapter by Russell T Davies and Benjamin Cook. This book is a bit longer than Gatsby. The Writer's Tale is a collection of emails between Russell T Davies, the head writer and showrunner of Doctor Who for series 1 to 4, including the specials, and Benjamin Cook, reporter for Doctor Who magazine. Russell T Davies describes the process of writing a Doctor Who episode and how series 4 was produced, from conception, creation, and transmission. It is an absolute goldmine of knowledge if you're either a Doctor Who fan, if you're a writer who wants to go into the TV industry, or if you're just curious about how a writer's mind works. If the size of the novel is intimidating, you can buy a regular Writer's Tale online, which is about half the size. Looking for Alaska by John Green. This is the one book that brought a tear to my eye, and that's why I want to recommend it to all writers. John Green is the master of emotional manipulation and emotional impact. All of his novels are great, but Looking for Alaska is my personal favourite and the one that devastated me the most. The plot is about a boy called Pudge who attends a boarding school in America and falls in love with a girl called Alaska, but it's so much more than that. It's really hard to describe a novel. Ironically, words can't do a good book justice. But yeah, that is my number one favourite book of all time and a book I recommend to all friends, writers and non-writers. And that's it for today. I hope you enjoyed this little video. I hope you enjoy the books I've recommended, if indeed you go and read them. And I'll speak to you later. Take care.